Welcome to blutalks.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. You know, if anyone were to ask me if I believe in God and the afterlife, I would answer with a resounding yes. But that wasn't always the case. You know, I, like so many other people, question God's existence, especially when you think, how could there be a God if there's so much earthly suffering, pain, and trauma? You know, I was raised in an atheist household without exposure to organized religion or spirituality or a belief in a higher power. I did not have the foundation of blind faith like so many other people have. In fact, you know, I'm someone who really needs to have a lot of evidence and proof before I believe something to be really true. Well, I got that proof. I got that proof because God came to my garage sale. And I was shown some absolute miracles and coincidences after experiencing severe trauma and loss. I am a domestic abuse survivor. I chose to escape my abuser after close to 3 decades and left a marriage. And I knew there would be repercussions, but I had no idea the significant losses that I would endure as a result. I lost my home to foreclosure, even though I was told it was paid off for over 10 years. I lost my assets. All of my money was depleted. I lost my support system of friends, family, neighbors, all to a smear campaign, something I didn't know that much about. I experienced a parent's worst nightmare when I lost my 2 adult children to parental alienation. So in this transition time, I had to leave my beautiful home, and I had a garage sale. And instead of feeling sad or angry or any kind of negative emotion, I was just filled with love and light and happiness. And I was just thankful for all the blessings that I had been given. I was grateful that I had 20 years with my daughter, and I had 30 years with my son. And I know that there are wonderful, loving dads and moms that can't say they have that, and that is something I'm very thankful for. But I'll tell you, I had these experiences at this garage sale that really reassured me that I was loved and that I was supported, and that even though I was making a very tough decision in my life, it was the best one for everyone involved. What I learned that I experienced is called STEs, spiritually transformative encounters or experiences. It's very similar to a near-death experience, an NDE, something that is more widely talked about, where someone dies and physically leaves this earth only to come back and be revived and come back and recount that they saw God or that they had some sort of spiritual awakening. Well, I had that same kind of experience. I just didn't have to flatline to have that. So there were many, many experiences that were just otherworldly. And I had so many that I was compelled to write them in my award-winning book, God Came to My Garage Sale. And I'd like to share a couple of the experiences with you. One experience, I was in the cul-de-sac looking back at my home filled with gratitude, and a dragonfly circled me, and I thought, well, that's pretty cool. You know, I didn't think too much of it. And I didn't think too much of it when there were 5 dragonflies. But shortly, when there were like 50 to 100 dragonflies circling me, I had to take notice. And I know that I was having somewhat of an out-of-body experience because I'm not a fan of bugs. And if I'm surrounded by more than one insect, I kind of freak out. I don't really enjoy that. That doesn't make me comfortable. But I was just filled with awe and wonder. I wasn't scared, but I was taking this all in. And this experience, like all the other experiences that I have had, they were in slow motion. It was almost like the air is like clear jello. I could see the dragonflies go down the block and come back and circle me. And like I said, it was all in slow motion, so much so that I could see the veins in the wings. And I could see the iridescent colors. And there were different sizes of dragonflies, which I immediately equated with loved ones, ancestors, surrounding me with support and love. It was kind of like I looked at them as babies and toddlers and teenagers and young adults and old adults and grandparents. And it was just an amazing feeling while I'm being surrounded, by all these dragonflies. And luckily, about 3/4 of the way through, I started to kind of come out of this otherworldly experience. And I knew to pull out my cell phone and videotape 100 dragonflies around me. I got the proof and evidence that I needed to really acknowledge that what I experienced was real. It really happened. And I'm a lover of learning, and through my research, I came across other stories of people that have had dragonfly experiences. And the dragonfly signifies in so many different cultures transformation. And I was definitely on my way, on my journey to a transformation. Another experience that I had actually came in the form of a license plate. I was in the car and I immediately was thinking of my deceased grandfather. His name is Bernhardt, kind of an unusual name, something you don't see that often. But as soon as I thought of him, I looked at the license plate in front of me, and there it was, Bernhardt. And I would have thought that might have been a coincidence, except for what happened afterwards. I turned down a road that I have turned on many times, but just never even knew the name of the road. That road's name is Bernhardt. And then there was a billboard, like one of those realtor billboards with a person and their name and a slogan, or the realtor company. And his name was Bernhardt. It was just too many things to just chalk up to coincidence. I knew that I needed to pay attention to these signs and synchronicities. Another experience that I had came in the form of feathers. And I know that it's very commonly reported that when people find pennies or feathers, or see red cardinals, that's a sign that you are being touched by something divine, or that it means good luck, or that, a deceased loved one is reaching out to you. Well, one morning when it was kind of dark, I was, I'm a teacher and I was getting ready for school. I was going to my car, and there was a spotlight right on the hood of my car, and there were about 20 feathers on my car. And I thought, that is really strange. And the feathers were so very unique in their coloring. The feeling I got right away was that was my brother's deceased dog that had just died the night before, coming to me to say, "Hey, Aunt Marni, thank you for the toys, for the bones, for being there." That was the feeling I got. And again, there was just slow motion happening during this time. That's kind of when I know I'm really in a zone, experiencing something. But I need proof. I need evidence. I'm not going to just believe this stuff. And so I looked up in various bird books, and I looked in online to see what kind of bird in the Midwest would leave these type of feathers, and I could not find one. In fact, when I looked around the world of what kind of bird this could be, there was no bird that matched the feathers that I saw, that were the unique coloring of my brother's Australian Shepherd. Those of you that know that breed of dog know that the coloring is very interesting. So I could just go on. I could spend hours and hours talking about the many experiences I had, but those are just a few to give you an idea. I really believe that there are no coincidences, that there are signs and synchronicities of the universe guiding us on our life journey towards peace, towards love, towards happiness. In fact, even being here today at this prestigious Ivy League school, Columbia University in New York City, is very synchronistic for me. I live in the Caribbean, and prior to that, I lived a lifetime in the Chicago suburbs, where I was getting close to retiring from my rewarding and successful 35-year career as a high school special education teacher. And I had the good fortune of meeting James Redfield, the best-selling author of the Celestine Prophecy series of books. And I had just finished writing my book, God Came to My Garage Sale, from so many of these experiences that I had. And I was beyond honored that James Redfield offered to endorse my book, that he found value in what I had to say. And that support was amazing. And it wasn't much longer after that that I thought my book was doing well. It was part of book clubs. It was winning awards left and right. I mean, it was just very unexpected, but wonderful. I thought I would look up James Redfield and just kind of see, what is he up to? I know he has the Celestine Vision program, and I caught an interview of James Redfield with Corey Poirier, the founder of blutalks Presents. And that is the reason why we are here today on the blutalks stage. And that was pretty cool. James Redfield wrote the foreword to Corey's amazing book called The Book of Why and How. And his message really resonated with me. I wanted to learn more about what he had to say and what he wrote. And really, after connecting with Corey, I ended up having the honor of being a contributing author to one of his books in his book series. I am in volume 2 of what now is going to be an 8-volume series with blutalks. Blue standing for business, life, and the universe. So that was pretty synchronistic, but it goes even further than that. That whole experience gave me my author's voice. I realized that I could use my pen, and not only could I heal, I could help others on their journey. And so I ended up being a contributing author to numerous anthology books and being asked to contribute feature articles in national magazines. And that was extremely exciting and validating for me. And that experience actually catapulted me into writing my 5-book series called True Deceit False Love, which addresses domestic violence, narcissistic abuse, parental alienation, and intergenerational family trauma. This has been an amazing journey. I am someone that does not stay in victimhood, and I do believe that we do need to experience the dark and the negative challenges in our lives to really appreciate the light and the goodness that is there for all of us. I truly, in my heart of hearts, believe that, we're not just humans having spiritual experiences. I really believe that we're spiritual beings having human experiences. I was clearly shown that there was more to this earth than what I had previously thought. I went from an atheist to a believer. And I just want to offer a message of hope to those who find themselves in darkness and despair, or handling life's adversity or challenges. We can choose to respond to how we want to handle these challenges. And if we were to pay attention to the signs and synchronicities that are there for us to be aware of that might really be the guidance that we need to move us towards self-actualization and to living a happy life. I feel that I've been given an amazing opportunity. Yes, I grieve the many losses that I have, but I have been blessed to find love again. I have been blessed to have wonderful opportunities. And when you let negative situations out of your body, out of your mind, your heart, and your soul, it makes room for positive and good things. So I just encourage all of you to please pay attention to the smallest signs because they could be a bigger message. I was shown that there was more to this earth, and I'm, testament to handling a challenging, awful, horrific situation, but with love and light and happiness. And you can too. In fact, God could even come to your garage sale. Thank you.